Is it time for the Minnesota Vikings to cut Dan Bailey? Dan Bailey is coming off of a terrible 2-game stretch. What is his stats these last 2 games? He is 1-4 on extra point attempts, 2-6 on field goal attempts in the last 2 games, and coming off of possibly his worst game of his career, going 0-4 on kicks. Dan Bailey is one of the biggest reasons why the Minnesota Vikings lost to the Buccaneers. He costed us 10 points. When you look at it though, can we cut Dan Bailey? It is week 15. We are going into week 15 in the NFL. We have 3 more weeks, and we are in the playoff hunt right now. We can make a playoff berth. Of course, we need the Arizona Cardinals to lose and also to step into that. Is it time to cut Dan Bailey? Of course it's possible. We can cut Dan Bailey and we can find a better replacement for him. But how confident are we in that? It would not make sense right now for the Minnesota Vikings to cut Dan Bailey as long as we are in the playoff hunt. The last time the Vikings had our kicker who went 0-4 on kicks was Daniel Carlson. After that game, they cut Daniel Carlson and signed Dan Bailey. He was his replacement. Carlson, of course, you can look at him right now, and it looks like it was possibly a bad decision because right now he's looking like he's better than Dan Bailey. Although Bailey has had a great couple of years with the Vikings so far. Since the Vikings have signed him in 2018, he has looked like one of the best kickers in the league. Of course, these last couple of games, completely different story. But can he turn it around? He can definitely turn it around. Dan Bailey can go on to be a great kicker for the next couple of years with the Vikings. And we would never know if that's going to be the case or not if we cut him. For the Vikings to cut Dan Bailey right now would be, it just wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense. Vikings, yes, Dan Bailey is very replaceable. You can find a replacement. Right now, Chase McLaughlin, he was on he was on the Vikings practice squad and then was picked up, stolen by us from the Jaguars, and then cut by the Jaguars. We can get him and replace him. Would he be better than Dan Bailey? Maybe. It's very unpredictable because you don't know how good Dan Bailey is going to be the next couple games. He is coming off of an awful 2-game stretch, but you have seen a lot from Dan Bailey so far, including this season. For the first 5 weeks of the season, Dan Bailey looked great. He made 15 extra point attempts in a row this season for the Vikings. Dan Bailey can be great. He just hasn't these last couple games. And it's in the head. I mean, you look at kickers and it always has to do with the head. So first, when you look at cutting a player, you have to look at their contract. You can't just cut a player because they suck. You got to look at the contract. Right now, in 2020, Dan Bailey signed another 3-year contract with the Minnesota Vikings. They agreed to a 3-year contract worth $10 million after he did play 2 great years with the Vikings. And then this was $3.1 million signing bonus, $6 million guaranteed. But if we cut him or not, we're still going to have to pay him this season. So if you cut him, it's not going to make very much sense financially if you cut him right now going into week 15 of the NFL where you still have the draft coming up. Now, I know it's probably not a good decision to draft a kicker because usually, okay, in the NFL, drafting a kicker works just as good as taking a kicker from free agency. It doesn't make sense for the Vikings to draft a kicker. I don't think drafting kicker is a good decision at all. Just get someone from free agency instead because they seem to work out just as well as kickers that you draft. Anyways, if we cut him or not, it just does not make sense against the cap right now because it's not going to make very much sense financially. But in 2021 season, the season after that season, this will be 2 years going into his 3-year contract. He will be worth $1.05 million in dead cap. Dan Bailey is not a kicker right now. You want to be in dead cap. So, of course, don't cut Dan Bailey yet. As long as the Vikings are in the hunt, if he has another bad performance against the Chicago Bears week 15, cut him. Get rid of him. Replace him. Anybody can be better than him. Just replace him. But if he does good, if he does okay, this has to be the deciding game for Dan Bailey's career. If he does okay, keep him. Because we can still play for a playoff berth. Of course, we have to rely on the Cardinals to lose. And we have to, of course, beat the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. But again, what's better? Taking a kicker and just throwing a coin up in the air? Will it work out? Will it not work out? You don't want that. You want to just use Dan Bailey right now. Because we've seen Dan Bailey can be great. In 2019, he was one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL. No, he didn't make a Pro Bowl. He didn't have high stats or anything because he didn't get very many opportunities as, of course, Harrison Butker, Will Lutz. There's a lot of great quarterbacks out there. Justin Tucker. There's a lot of great quarterbacks. Did I say quarterbacks? There's a lot of great kickers out there who get a lot more attention than Dan Bailey does because he didn't get very many opportunities as those guys did, but he always made them. Dan Bailey made, what was it, like 40-some straight extra points? He did great. And so far in the season, you look at his season so far, he's 27 for 13 on extra point attempts, 12 for 18 on field goal attempts. Not that great right there. But still, that's about That's making about 80% of his kicks. Not bad. Is it worth $3.3 million a year? No. He is not worth that much. His contract is way overpaid when you look at it right now. This is his 3-year contract with the Vikings that he signed. And when you look at this contract right now, it is way too overpaid, and you don't want that at all. But at the same time, don't cut him. You can't throw away the Viking season like that. I know he's probably not a difference maker, but if he can at least look something like he looked previously this year, Dan Bailey's, it wouldn't make sense to cut him, is what I'm trying to say. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if we lose this week and he looks bad, of course, you can get a replacement for Dan Bailey. He's very replaceable. But even if you cut Dan Bailey, you're still going to have to pay him. So if you're looking at financially, it just does not make sense for the Vikings to cut Dan Bailey. But if you're looking at it as, can we get a replacement for this guy? Maybe even bringing back Chase McLaughlin. I don't know how good he is. He played only a couple of games with the Jags and was cut. So I'm assuming he's not better than Dan Bailey. But if you can take a shot on someone after this week, because if the Vikings lose to the Bears, our playoff chances are done. Our playoff chances are done. That just relies on the Cardinals falling completely flat and us making it possibly at 8-8 with the Cardinals losing a bunch of their next games. Give Dan Bailey one more chance. That's what I'd say. We've seen Dan Bailey can be great. He's coming off of an awful 2-game stretch, probably his worst of his career. But give him one more chance. I hate to say it, but I've been a massive Dan Bailey fan. I have been huge since he's came to the Vikings because it's good to know that a kicker can go out there and you can rely on him making it. Of course, these last couple games have been a completely different story, but he's been very reliable in 2019, in 2018, and the first half of this season. He's been great. He's been really good, making 15 extra points in a row this season, the first 15, making 30, 40 some in a row. He's been very good. Take away the last couple games. Let me know what y'all think.